This is your Friday Barbados Today afternoon news update for September the 15th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news at this hour, the Barbados Meteorological Services urges Barbadians to brace for severe weather this weekend. In a severe weather statement, the Met Office said it's keeping a close eye on the progress of a strong tropical wave located about 1,200 miles east of the Windward Islands. Now, the forecasters say the system is expected to slowly develop as it tracks westward to west-northwestward at about 15 miles per hour. They, however, note that regardless of the development, the island will experience moderate to heavy showers, periods of rain, scattered thunderstorms, and occasional gusty winds late Sunday into Monday. The system is also likely to produce rain accumulations of 6 to 8 inches. As a consequence, the high surface advisory and small craft warning will take effect from tomorrow Saturday at 6 p.m. The Met Office said it is also monitoring the progress of Tropical Depression number 14. That system is expected to track west-northwestward into the central Atlantic away from Barbados and the eastern Caribbean. In other news this Friday, bring the cameras. That's the position of General Secretary of the Barbados Workers Union, Tony Moore, following the announcement by Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite that cameras will be installed at the island's ports of entry. She makes it clear that while the union has no issue with the decision, she is at odds with the suggestions from the Attorney General that customs officers and guards are in part responsible for the influx of illegal guns into the island and that they need to be monitored. Moore tells Barbados Today what's really needed is a complete overhaul of the island's defense and the security systems.
And this is where we have to be careful that statements, even if well-intentioned, may not, in fact, be reckless enough to apportion blame to a particular category of worker for a number of the ills that we are now experiencing in our society. One of the other views that the union would have is that in the absence of 100% checks, 100% checks meaning where you are checking every single item that passes through ports, there will always be room for, or that space created for things to slip through.
Moore's comments come as her colleague, President of the National Union of Public Workers, Akani McDowell, has raised concerns on behalf of customs officers. He questions who will monitor the videos after officers express fears for their safety. Moore is recommending that stakeholders hold talks to discuss the best way forward.
The unions should not purport to get into any kind of discussion that would see us trying to manage a customs department or manage those kinds of arrangements. What we would want is to make sure that through consultation, any decision made or any plan implemented is a plan that is not injurious to people's conditions. And I don't know sufficient about the comment you're raising to say whether a condition of employment is going to be compromised. To me, that is an operational issue that we can be made aware of through discussion.
The economy is still tough, and the island's leading fast food chain, Chefette Restaurants, admits it has not been business as usual. Managing Director Ryan Halut says it has forced the company to step up its game and expand even more. This morning, Chefette officially opened its Lancaster location, which boasts new features including an ice cream parlor and a double mega 3-story playground.
We are continuing to push hard in this country. We're not going to ever give up. And Paul, as you said, God is here with us, and we will all survive this. We will all survive this. So we're very blessed to be able to open this location. The question may be asked, what next for Chefette? And I was asked that by too many houses already, even before my speech this morning. Our next project, our main project, is our Chefette Newton location, what we call the Chickmont Roundabout. in Christchurch. We started our infrastructure already, which is to put in the roadworks and the lighting and all the services. From there, what we're doing is we're now in the design stage, which takes a long time because we really want to try to incorporate a barbecue barn at that location in Chapette, Newton.
Director of the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, Ronald Jackson, says special attention is being paid to children affected by the passage of Hurricane Irma as recovery efforts continue. He told a news conference at SEDEMA headquarters yesterday schools in hard-hit countries such as Anguilla, Barbados, and the British Virgin Islands have been devastated.
And Anguilla in particular said to us that they are not going to be sending their students out. And in fact, in the high-level visit, Prime Minister Mitchell urged the government of the BVI to try to keep the families together in that regard, given the psychological impact of the event on families and the further psychological impact it could have on splitting families apart at a time where persons are looking to potentially send children out, or countries are offering to take some of the students into their countries so that they can continue their schooling. And in that regard, we've asked them to examine other approaches. It is not inconceivable that you could have a sort of tent-based classrooms to start.
Jackson said donors are working around the clock to ensure schools are back in business as soon as possible.
Given the importance of schools. There are cases where people are sheltering in the school facilities. I spoke earlier about the rental subsidy, which will facilitate transitional housing, and that is also a means of ensuring that we can decant the schools and have it available for its sole purpose. So there is a central focus both by external donor partners but also internal national government leads in trying to ensure that they can get school commencing in some way, shape or form, potentially using other facilities or providing tent-based classrooms as a start.
Good morning, Phillips & Company, may I help? Oh, certainly. One moment, please. Miss Phillips?
Yeah?
There's a lady on the line from the Nation newspaper who would like to speak with you.
The Nation? Will she go on?
Well, they're trying to sell us some ads.
Look, don't make me laugh this morning. Ads in the Nation? They're real expensive, and for one year, nobody ain't buying them papers no more. Nobody ain't want to steal news. I hear reading Barbados today online for free. So I tell she thanks for calling, but no thanks. We just advertising Barbados Today, families. Tell she is Barbados Today all the way.
Okay, I'll pass on the message. Ma'am, are you still there? Oh, she put down.
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To the region now, a magnitude 4.7 earthquake rocked the islands of St. Lucia, Martinique, and Dominica early this morning. According to the Seismic Research Center of the University of the West Indies, the quake, located at 15 degrees north and longitude 60 degrees west, had a depth of 29 kilometers. Now, there are reports the quake was felt as far as St. Vincent. On the international scene now, terror strikes in London yet again. 22 people were injured on a tube train in southwest London when an improvised explosive device was detonated. Scotland Yard said the blast at Parsons Green Station is being treated as terrorism. Pictures taken of the train show a white bucket on fire inside a supermarket bag with wires trailing on the carriage floor. We get the details in this BBC report.
This is Parsons Green tube station, which has been completely sealed off, police, ambulance, and from what I have heard from one passenger who was on board the train, she says she was in the early carriages of the train, and there was an explosion, a bang, and a pause, and then she said there was flames. She just says there were like a wall of flames, and there were a lot of people in the carriage. She says that she believes she was protected from it by the people in front of her. but she said that she saw people who'd been injured, she saw people who had burns to their head, and then she describes the panic as everybody just ran off that train. She said the doors opened as soon as it happened, and she says there was just complete panic as everyone rushed out to that station, crying, screaming, and trying to get away from it.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. Now, we are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.